Peace and blessings, all my good people. It's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now. Also, if you guys want to support me outside of YouTube, I have my latest book out right now on Amazon, The 48 Laws of Peace. You guys go check that out. I'll leave the link down below. Okay, this is part 2 of wife cheating on her husband, and I know you guys are ready for this, so I'm gonna drop it right after the first one. All right, let's jump right into it, see what's going on. Let's get it.
So what I already explained in the videos, what do you think your husband was gonna do? He did the right thing. My next set of videos are going to explain what he really did. So of course, you know, I thought he just, okay, he got his stuff and he went up the street, you know, to his mom's. Well, not up the street, she just lived on a hill, with his U-Haul, and he left. That's not where it ended. It really got bad on his part. And I'll kind of give more context to it. But no, he did act calm, but it was the calm before the real storm. And that's to come when I provide a little more context to it. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and just say that that's not how it ended. It wasn't as calm as it may sound because he took a U-Haul and just got a couple of things. So did you go back and hang out with the guy? So the guy, I will continue to call him Guy. He was calling my phone. He was texting me a lot. He was trying to make me go back to him. I guess at this point he realized that now it's the time for me to really make the decision. So he was calling me a lot, texting me. Now I was at my husband's mom's house because, you know, he had the U-Haul truck up there. So I was ignoring the calls and stuff. And I'm not gonna get to the part yet of me going back, or if I didn't or anything like that. I will just say that he didn't leave me alone that exact day. He did continue to call. Eventually I did respond, and I'll let you know about that as well, but that's to come. Okay, so now I'm gonna tell a little more about the story and how he handled it for real. So I left off where he kind of just walked out of the house and he took the kids, and I left a little after. Like I said, it was probably an hour or two. And I knew he was going to be at his mom's house. So, well, I didn't know, but I decided, let me just go check there, because that's usually when we used to argue, like in the beginning of our relationship, that's like always where he went. He was just with his mom. It's his comfort zone, of course. So anyways, I'm at his mom's house still, and the kids are there, and I'm talking to his mom about like the situation. Like I said, she doesn't really know what's going on. He really didn't give her too much context, and we both agreed that we really wouldn't do that if we were arguing. We didn't want a lot of like friends and family to know. So while I'm talking to her, we're just having a conversation, and he ends up leaving and going somewhere. I didn't have the authority I felt at that time I didn't have the authority to say, hey, where are you going? So I kind of just let him do his thing and take the car that he had. So he left, and I didn't want to be there too much longer, like hanging out. And his mom said that she would keep the kids. She didn't feel comfortable with me taking them, or him taking them even. So I ended up leaving, and I went to the gas station, you know, to get myself something to drink, just regular little gas station stuff. I know that my tire pressure was low on my left side, I remember, and then I had to put gas in the car because I was going to be probably driving around for a little bit. I didn't really know where I was going to go at that point, but I knew that I didn't want to go home because him and the kids weren't there. I didn't want to stay at his mom's house. And I didn't decide yet if I wanted to go back to Guy for that night. So I decided, let me just go fill the tank up, get myself some snacks, and I'll probably do like the ride around, listen to music like I used to do back in the days. So I'm at the gas station, and usually when we went to put gas in the car, we fill it up. Who wants to go put $5? I mean, whatever, to each their own. So I swiped my card at the pump. I'm paying at the pump, and it kept saying like the card's not working. However, I know our credit limit, so I knew I definitely do have the funds available to be able to fill the car up. So I go inside and I'm like, oh, the pump is not working. She said to try to do it there. So I tried to pay inside. So
what would you think? You think he's not gonna cut
use
off the
credit card to pay for like the snacks or whatever. I just use a regular debit card. But I tried to use the credit card to pay for the gas to fill it up. So I told them put 60 on pump 4. I think it was pump 4. Don't hold me to that. And he had canceled my card. So I grabbed another credit card and I'm like, okay, let me just try a different one. If I'm thinking he canceled the card, he wouldn't think to cancel them all. I don't know what I was thinking at that time, but I was like, let me try a different card, one of the other credit cards. They all declined as well. So I found myself in a stuck position. Of course, it was understandable. Great, you canceled all the credit cards, right? Wow. So I ended up going into the car and calling all the credit card companies and trying to see what happened. Like, why are the cards declining? And also, I was just wanting to confirm what I obviously knew. And he did. He removed me as an authorized user. I no longer had access to use his credit cards. It was 2 or 3 of them. It was 3. So I went back in with my debit card and I tried to use that. Our bank account is a joint account. So because he left so smoothly, just, took the U-Haul and only got what was rightfully his and what, it was fine. Whatever he took, it was fine. I didn't think that there was going to come more stuff was going to come. So I didn't expect that now our joint account was going to be affected. However, when I went back in, I wasn't able to buy anything else with my debit card, which, like I said, it's a joint account. It's both of our funds. Now the debit card is declining. So at this point, I'm pissed. I'm like, this is my money too. What the fuck? Why the fuck can't I use my own money, my debit card? He took everything out of our bank account. So, like I said, the whole time when I was at Guy's house, I was nervous because I'm like, oh my gosh, he's not reacting how he's always said he would. He's just leaving. But the first thing he did was take all of my funds availability away. I had nothing. I think my tank was probably it was close to half a tank. So I had nothing. I had no money. None of the credit cards were working. So my only option was either to go to Guy's house, or I could decide to drive around with what I have, or I can just say fuck it and go home. So I decided, I guess the best thing to do because of everything that happened was to go home. And that's what I did. I wasn't far from home. I ended up going to the house. Why did I go to the house? When I pulled up to the house, Anthony was there and Guy's car was there. I found it weird because Guy stopped calling and texting me like he was when I was at Anthony's mom's house. He wasn't bothering me as much. And then, Anthony leaves, and now all of a sudden I'm not getting any more calls. I'm not getting any more text messages. So I go to our house, and like I said, in the driveway was Anthony's car and Guy's car. The house wasn't lit up like they were, in the house. All I could notice was that the kitchen light was on. And my heart dropped because I'm like, oh my gosh, is he handling it how he said he was going to handle it? You know how I said he was going to handle it. So I open my door and I get out the car and I go to grab the door handle, and the door was already kind of opened a little bit. Like I don't know why they didn't close it, but the door was a little open and I can see them both standing by the island in the kitchen. And it was loud. They were talking very loudly. So I kind of was standing there to hear and be nosy and hear what they were talking about. And my husband was being very aggressive. Anthony ended up going up to him like super close to his face. He was really in his face. And Guy is not like a small guy. I feel like him and Anthony are kind of the same size. So neither of them were like backing down. I don't know if it's because, they know each other. They're friends, right? But I can see that my husband did have protection, I would say. I don't want to say, specifically what it is, but he was protected. So at this point, I'm super nervous. I ended up going into the kitchen and I'm just like, okay, this is something we all should be talking about. We're all adults, and it wasn't just Guy's problem. It was mine as well. So Anthony just kind of pushed me off. He didn't hit me. He pushed me off to the side and told me to shut the fuck up and let him handle it like a man. And of course, I just kind of stepped off and sat there and let them continue on with the conversation. But I was getting pissed by what was being communicated between the both of them. So Guy did end up telling me some stuff, that he felt I should know. I guess since he was heated, it was like, okay, that was my friend, but since, he wants to act like that, I don't know what his point was, but this is what I was thinking in my head. So now I'm going to get all the tea on what, he knows about my husband, which obviously was one of his best friends. So he starts telling me just some stuff, like little things that I had suspicions of, but never had like solid proof or evidence. Like I never asked Guy about it because, that's not even his place. But so he started telling me things that I had suspicions about. So he kind of confirmed them for me. Like, my husband just talking to other women and just things that made the whole reaction that my husband had, it made it make sense at that point to me. Because I'm like, like I said, he always said that if I did something and he caught me, it would be out of control. However, Guy kept feeding me more and more tea, and it was hurting me. So he told me. So Guy ended up telling me about a situation that I had no suspicion of at all. He didn't have a suspicion of me, but I had no suspicions of at all. So we ended up putting on like just some music in the background, and I remember having the fireplace like on YouTube just playing. There was no like sound or anything coming from the YouTube, but we did have music on in the background. And I can tell that Guy could see that I was trying to reach out to Anthony, because I was trying to contact my husband and see where he was, what he was doing, was he okay. I wanted to make sure that like nothing happened once they made him leave the house. But he wasn't responding to me. He wasn't answering my text messages. He wasn't answering my calls. He was literally just ignoring me. And I was getting a bit like sad or like bothered by it, because I wanted to know where he was going. I wanted to see, what he had going on. And he wasn't responding. So Guy could see that I was trying to, not contact, but he seen that I was very like involved in my phone. I was just paying my phone so much attention. So I'm sure that he kind of put two and two together, that I was trying to reach out to my husband, which I can tell bothered him. But at that moment, like with everything that happened for the day, I just felt like it was necessary. I felt like I needed to check in on my husband. And I wasn't getting a response for some odd reason. So Anthony's not answering any of my text messages. And Guy can kind of tell, of course, that I'm bothered. So I don't know if the next piece of information he gave me is because he can tell this and he wanted me to be solely focused on him. But it was a bomb. It was a real bomb. Like, it was a heart bomb. It was really painful. So anyways, he ends up telling me about this person that we all know, a mutual part of, our circle of friends. I wouldn't say friends, but like our mutual circle of people we know. She's probably been like just kind of around for like 7 years that I can count. And Guy ended up saying that, he kind of hinted that he tried to say without saying that there was something going on. So of course I tried to pry it out of him. I'm like, what's the... So he ended up, just telling me, hey, she's actually been dealing with Anthony, and that's why she's been around. So that's why we go around her, and her kid. Like I said, we also have children together, and they're smaller. So she has a 4-year-old that, we bring around. And Guy ends up telling me, they've been dealing with each other for...
Made it, family. This story is absolutely crazy. I don't know what to say about this. If it ain't legit, don't commit. And sometimes just things happen between people. I don't know, man. This story went from this side to this side. It's sad that this kid's involved already, but damn. Man. You guys let me know how you feel on this one. And I might see if there's any more that she dropped. And if there is, I'll make another episode of it. But so far, we can already know how this is going to end up and how it's going, man. It's crazy out there. You guys let me know how you feel in the comment section. Until next time, it's your boy Mickey Fenty, a.k.a. Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now. Got more story times coming, alright? Peace.